Hello everyone, welcome to acrylic painting. So for today, we are going to do some exercises and test paintings, color mixing, etc. So that next week you can start your final painting. I'll talk a little bit about my tools and what I have in front of me. I have some water for cleaning brushes, tissue, my brushes. You've gotten a 4 and a 2. I also have this one. If you do have any other brushes at home, you're welcome to use them. Then I have my canvas paper. Remember, you want to paint on the side that's bumpy, not the side that's smooth, okay? Always the bumpy side. And then we have our paints. We have white, burnt umber, which is good for mixing like a black color. If you mix burnt umber and blue, you get a really nice kind of black color. As you can see, there is no black, and I did that on purpose. Sometimes when black gets introduced into an acrylic painting, it turns everything really gray and kind of dead color. So we're gonna mix our own black tones, all right? So you're gonna be making black from colors like this, or adding a little red, etc. It's not gonna be exactly black, but you're actually gonna learn a lot more about color mixing than just using black. Okay, then we have 2 of each kind of primary. So there's 2 reds. One's pinkier red, and this one's crimson. And this is better for mixing violets. If you use this red, which is cadmium red, which is a little bit more yellow in it, to mix a violet, you'll get a brown. Then we have 2 kinds of blue. Phthalo blue, which is like darker, got a little bit of red in it, almost like violet, sort of. And this one's cerulean blue, which is a little bit more pure blue. This one is better for mixing greens, because this one can also come out kind of brownish. Then we have 2 different yellows. This one is lemon yellow, and this one's cadmium yellow. So you'll see this one's got almost a slightly more orange. It's a warmer, and this one's cooler. So maybe this one's better for mixing greens, maybe this one's better for mixing oranges. Okay, let's try mixing some colors. First of all, let's try mixing that black color I said you could make with burnt umber and blue. Now when we mix colors, we don't want to get them dirty, so I'm just gonna put a little like this. Like this. You get kind of a color that's very close to black. It's a little bit more brown. You can always add a little bit more blue if you want it to be less brown. Okay, so let's work today on how to mix secondary colors. So we're gonna try orange, violet, and green. All right, so to mix violet, start there. We're gonna I'll use a tiny bit of each color, okay? Because this is all the paint you got and we don't wanna waste it. You guys come back to school to get more, but that's kind of a pain. Just a little bit. So this is cerulean blue and this is phthalo blue. Okay, this is cadmium red. And this is crimson, the pinker one. We're gonna see what kind of colors we get when we mix them. So to mix this and this, so this is cerulean blue and cadmium red. Now cerulean blue and crimson. So if you mix cadmium red and phthalo blue, actually get kind of a brownish kind of purple, and the most bright purple is if you use the crimson, okay? So it's a little bit bluer with cerulean, but a little bit more purpley with the phthalo blue. But I recommend, unless you want like a brown color like these, it's better to mix your violets with crimson. Now let's try green. Okay, that's lemon yellow and cerulean. Now we'll do this one is with cadmium yellow. Okay, so as you can see, if you use this yellow, lemon, it's going to be cooler. If you use the cadmium, it's going to be a warmer green. Also, if you want it to be a brighter green, you're going to get the brightest color green if you use cerulean blue and lemon yellow. So far, if you want bright colors, use this blue, this red, and this yellow for your mixing. All right, let's try orange, see if it's the same deal. So as you can see, if you use lemon yellow, it's a little bit cooler. If you use this yellow, the cadmium yellow, it's a little bit warmer. Now, just like before, you can make tints, tones, shades, and use complementary colors to mix. So here is a tint of blue. If you want to make a shade, you can use this color as a black. And then if you use this color as a black, and then also a touch of white, you can get a tone of blue. Okay? You can also use the complement. So the complement of blue would be orange. Some more. Now we have a blue that's a bit desaturated. Let's talk a little bit about color matching. This exercise, I'd like you to take your object that you're working with and find 3 colors on it. So I'm gonna use this green right here, and we're gonna try to mix this color green. Okay, so if we look over on this chart, I would say it's kind of closest to this one. So I'm gonna use phthalo blue and cadmium yellow. And I think it's got a tiny bit of white in it. I think I went a little bit too light, so too much white. So I gotta put some blue and yellow back in. Now I think it needs a tiny bit more white. So sometimes color mixing, you have to go back and forth. That's better. Now I can see it's a little bit too bright. I need to add a little bit of the complement to it. So the complement of green is red. So we're just going to stick a drop of red in it. And this just makes it less bright, right? It makes it more desaturated. You just need a little. Yes, that matches pretty good. We want to mix this color here. So I'll look at my purple chart. I think it's closest to this one. It is kind of a brownish purple. But I see a lot of this color in it too. So I might even add a little bit of both. Two kinds of red, a bit of this blue. Now as you can see, I went way too far on the blue. Some colors are stronger than other colors, and blue is a very strong color. This blue. Okay, now it needs, actually that looks pretty good for some of the dark spots, but I want to do the main color, so it needs a little bit white to get it lighter. Okay, now you can see that it needs way more red, doesn't it? Close, but it needs a little bit of the complement, right, to desaturate it. So we'll just put a touch of yellow. I think it needs a little bit more red. So that's not bad. Now we're going to pick one more color on our object to try to match. And this can just be like a shadow or something. For instance, I think I'll do this light green right here. So for that, I know I need a lot of white. And it should be kind of similar to this color. Let's put all this blue, this yellow. Tiny bit more yellow. More white. I would say you could use this color for here, this color for here to blend up, and then this color should go higher. Okay, so now it's your turn. Find 3 colors in your object and mix them to match. So this is palette paper. This is where you mix your paints. this is where you mix your colors. You mix them here and then you paint them onto your painting. You don't mix on your painting, that's the traditional way. So take a little bit of each color. Remember, don't use too much because this is the paint you have and you're gonna need it for your paintings. You can always get more. It's harder to put it back. I'm putting them in order of the color wheel. This will be our first color. Because it can dry, if you mix all your colors, by the time you get ready to paint, they'll dry. So we can move on now to actually painting on our painting. And you can do a little test on a scrap piece of paper. So for this one, we just want to do a really fast painting, okay? We just want to get like kind of used to it, and then we're going to spend more time on the next one. Now this technique right now is called dry brush, but if you want to add a little bit of water, you can make it go on smoother. See, like this. Just got a little shirt. Okay, and gives it some texture. See that texture right there? So just a fast, quick painting to practice color mixing. Now we'll do the other one longer. Background, I just want like some blue. So this time I'm going to do an underpainting. An underpainting is a nice way to get everything painted with an undercolor, and then you paint on top of it. So we're going to need this blue here, and we're going to mix it with a lot of water. Okay, our underpainting is dry now, so start the process of painting the colors on top. So in this method, what we do first is we do our darkest shadows first. Okay, we've got the darkest shadows. Now you can start adding the mid-tones.